Welcome to Tom Papa's Come to Papa.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Come to Papa, your favorite podcast among all the other podcasts. Hope you're doing well. Here we are, January 29th, 2019. We're knocking off months like they're ducks in a shooting gallery at the state fair.
Wow.
Boom, done. Here we are, marching towards February, the Super Bowl weekend edition of Come to Papa.
Are we allowed to say that? We have to say big game.
Why can't you say?
You didn't notice that they never say Super Bowl in any advertisement. It always says big game.
No, I didn't notice that. Oh,
Yeah.
because they have the rights to it?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're selling potato chips, you can't say Super Bowl. You have to say the big game or else you have to pay them. Oh, that's interesting. Well, we're a news program. We're allowed to say the Super Bowl, that we're going to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because we are.
Come get us.
So happy to be home. Make sure you go to tompapa.com and see when we're going back out on the road, which begins next week. This week, I have Live from Here, right here in Los Angeles, California. I will be doing Out in America on the big broadcast with Sarah Silverman and the Watkins family, Nickel Creek. It's going to be a great show, much fun. And then Paul and I are going to be hitting the road, and we will be all over the place, coming to a town near you. Hermosa, Boulder, Ithaca, Wilkes-Barre, Newark, New York, Minneapolis, Ramapo, New Jersey, where I'm doing my sister's annual City Green fundraiser on March 7th. Fargo, North Dakota, Bismarck, St. Paul, Boise. We should do this like Johnny Cash. Boise, Bozeman, Dallas, New York, Northampton, Boston, Merrimack, Newton. We're all over the place. So come out and see us. We had great shows this weekend. We went down. Paul and I flew into the D.C. area and had 2 sold-out shows in Annapolis.
Yeah, that was
Rams
great.
Head. That was great fun. And the Birchmere in Alexandria the night before. Packed house. So much fun. Good people. Good part of the world. You know, when normally we come in, we play our beloved improv, DC Improv, which I think we're going to try and do in the fall. I didn't realize how close these were to the DC Improv. So no wonder we're not there in May. So I think we're going to do that one. But we're never in the suburbs. We usually go right into the city.
Right.
We do a little touring around. And I've never really spent any time in Old Town in Alexandria and Annapolis. Good part of the world. We had a blast.
Yeah, that was like another. We've been doing either like theaters or like music venues. Like a lot of people that came said they had seen bands there at the Birchmere Music Hall. So this was cool for them to see comedy there.
Us and the beloved Paula Poundstone plays there.
Right.
And, you know, we always follow in Paula Poundstone's footsteps. She's our comedy spirit animal.
Yeah, she's either just been there or about to be wherever we are.
And Paul is excited if she was just there because she is addicted to Diet Coke, as is Paul. So he gets her leftovers. To our Patreon subscribers, thank you for tuning in. And we will post your extra podcast after this show.
And we got a video up of you preparing your dough from last week. So that's up there now.
Sweet.
For Patreon people to check out how Tom prepares dough in the home. Do you call it the home kitchen?
Yeah, I guess so. I never have, but
Until
I will.
you build the addition.
Until we spread out. Pizza coming tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I made pizza dough last night, and it's in the refrigerator, and the kids will be feasting as I go off and do shows.
You throw it up in the air?
Don't throw it, but you kind of do that motion. You let the gravity. Put your hands in the middle and fists in the dough, and you move it around like that, and you just let the gravity pull down as you spin it, and it comes out into that shape. And then you can wait. You could throw it. It's just for flair.
So what kind of dough is it? It's not sourdough, right?
No, it is. There's this 00 flour that is made specifically for pizza dough that I get at this Italian market. And you don't use sourdough starter. I mean, I guess you could, but I'm just using regular yeast. And made 2 things for 2 basically 12-inch pizzas.
Because I never thought about what kind of dough like pizza is. It's not white bread. It's not sourdough.
No. I mean, you can do it with a sourdough. I'm sure that you can make it from a starter. But this recipe didn't call for that. And I just need to like crank it up. I don't have that much time for it. So you use the natural yeast. And we'll see. I've done it before. The problem is when you make pizza at home, the oven can only get so hot.
Ah, okay.
And to put it in a nice pizza oven is really the way to go. And this is the thing that, as a baker, you start to think about, and then you either make that leap or you don't, into building a brick oven in your backyard.
In your tree like an elf.
The problem is we live in a fire zone.
Yeah.
I doubt they would let me make a real wood fire oven in my backyard surrounded by trees.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think that's happening. It's a bummer. But I should check the regulations. I wonder what it is, because I am definitely tempted. I mean, to really crank it up and get it hot would just be amazing. It would cook quicker. You do more at one time. And I put pizza dough on this. I put one of those clay things in the oven, like with a stone, one of the cooking stones. And the last time I did it, it got so hot it cracked the stone.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's a work in progress. What's that?
Can you make a clay oven?
Sure. You can make anything. Just whether or not we're going to get arrested and light our neighbors' houses on fire. That's the problem. But after we're done with the podcast, I'll go off and get some fresh mozzarella and some basil. And the problem is the kids get out so late now. They've got rehearsals and all this stuff, so they're going to get home at 7:15. I have to leave at 7:20 to go do my shows. I have to go do the Comedy Store tonight and Largo with my pals, the Milk Carton Kids. And it's a problem. This whole kids having lives is not the best.
Can't they drive yet?
They can drive, but they're still not home in time.
Yeah.
We're overlapping.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just get the pizza going. I think my younger one is home earlier. I'll make an early one with her, and I'll get the other one ready for the older one when she comes home.
What about calzone? Do a nice calzone with the dough?
You could. I think it would probably be the same dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice calzone would be sweet. Just fill it up with cheese. Ooh, boy.
When's the last time you had one of those?
Oh, man. A long time. When I was in college, I used to get them. There was one place that made them as big as a pizza box.
Yeah.
Those giant ones.
Places that make them good, they tell you to put like 3 meats in those.
Yeah.
3 cheeses. That's like, man.
Serious stuff.
That's got some weight to it.
That's just cheese and dough and oil. It's good stuff. The problem is, making the pizza stuff, it's like you want to celebrate. You want to be there. You want to see the faces when you're making it. But I'm going to have to split. It's all for the love of comedy. The thing I really want to make is scones. I'm so excited that I'm home for like a week and a half. So I'm just like going crazy. I already made 2 loaves of bread, and now we got pizza dough. And then tomorrow I want to make scones, but I need a couple more ingredients. Some blueberries.
What is the thing that takes taste away from scones? Is that something you have to put in there? They're terrible, Tom.
I love scones.
Come on.
It's my favorite breakfast pastry.
It's the reason that the British couldn't beat us. They didn't put what's missing from a scone besides taste.
Do you hear the leaf blower? As soon as we start the podcast, it doesn't matter what day of the week, what time, the leaf blower guy shows up.
Yep.
I love a scone. Not too sweet, not as sweet as a muffin, not as doughy as a muffin, not as sweet as a donut, not as dry and pasty as a cracker. It's somewhere in between.
It's the saltine of pastries.
Come on.
It's terrible, Tom.
You haven't had a good one. Where have you even tried a scone?
When you go overseas or to, you know where it's big? In Canada, they have a lot of like biscuit stuff. And it's all this stuff. There's no taste to it. It's like before they found sugar. I'm going to blow your mind. You have not had a proper, delicious blueberry scone or maple oat scone. Like when they have to dip it in water just to like decompose it enough to chew it.
One of the main ingredients is butter. You chop up cold butter into the dough, and you know that's going to be a lot of that's fat, that's moisture, that's deliciousness. You've had like the hard. I know what you're talking about. You're talking like the Prince Charles dry fart biscuit.
Yeah, that's why we made buttermilk biscuits. We made it good.
Look, there's nothing wrong with making a nice, good old buttermilk biscuit. I ain't saying there ain't nothing wrong with no buttermilk biscuit. But a proper scone. What about the Starbucks blueberry scone?
Come on.
You've never had it. Admit it.
No.
Admit it.
No, I've never had Starbucks day-old pastries, no.
God.
You're a baker, Tom.
I am.
You're gonna take whatever Starbucks shells out on the Cisco truck, whatever they delivered that day. You think they made anything there?
If I'm stuck in an airport, and look, I normally just slide in. All I get is a drip coffee that they hand me, and I split. That's it. And I don't order any food. I don't do anything. But if it's like 4:00 in the afternoon, and I'm connecting between, whatever little tiny town in some crap airport, and I'm getting a coffee, and I want to treat myself to make myself feel less suicidal, I will get myself a blueberry scone.
And a hammer.
And it is a treat. Come on. Look, I am the baker, as you said. You should take my...
They give you a hammer and a chisel so you can get a piece off. That's how you break off a piece of scone.
You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to make them for the Super Bowl. How about that? I'm going to give you one Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good way to get people coming in. We have wings, pizza. We got super scones.
Is your lady friend coming?
I don't know. I'm trying to make sure that I get back here.
Where are you?
I'm going to be in like the Midwest somewhere, and I'm trying to get back. It's not I'm trying to get back for your well, are you allowed to say that you're taping it a night early? Or is that not known?
For their live
from here?
Yeah, we're doing that on Friday.
In Los Angeles, so that's cool that you get to do everything from here.
I know.
How less stressful will that be?
I know. It's a treat that I get to be home.
And it's over before Saturday.
I know. It is exciting. And we're going to have... I'll be done, and I'm not going to do any shows. I'm just going to start drinking on Saturday, straight through the Super Bowl. So when do you come back?
I'm trying to get back Friday as soon as I can. It's just a matter of...
So you'll make the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's just hopefully nothing goes wrong. I don't do some planes, trains, and automobiles thing.
Oh, has the intense weather hit?
I don't know. It's just whenever you go to a place that you have to do more than one connection, it's always like, I'd rather just drive to like a big city for a few hours,
Yes.
Like, have you ever been stuck anywhere?
I was
for
stuck.
A night?
This is a very funny story. Would you like to hear a funny story?
Sure.
It's not hilarious, but it's interesting. Wait. Let me just check this out first for you. Polar vortex to grip the Midwest with the most extreme cold in a generation.
Oh, wow.
That's where you're going.
Well, that was the funny part about Alexandria was our hotel had the polar bear launch site with all the people that
People
jumped
doing
into
polar
the
bear
freezing
plunge.
water.
Yes.
Yeah, that's craziness.
You know what's crazy? That we had to do the podcast so many times last year when I was filming Baked that we were in different locations.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Like over the phone?
Yeah.
That was a crazy period. You are going to freeze your butt off, kid. It's going to be like negative degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might be stuck. But you're done on Thursday?
Yeah, I just do a thing Thursday night.
Oh, it's happening now. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You leave tomorrow?
No, I'm leaving Thursday.
Wait, you're leaving Thursday and coming back Thursday?
No, I'm leaving Thursday, doing the show that night, and coming back Friday.
Oh. Dangerous wind chills, minus 40 to nearly minus 60 degrees in Des Moines.
Nice. I'm further over. I'm almost going to be towards Memphis.
Oh, you're down south.
So hopefully it'll be okay.
Well, hopefully you'll make it back because we are going to be eating chicken and scones.
Well, and you're going to be immersed in music for the next...
Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be all...
Well,
live
tonight
here.
even.
Tonight, yeah, with Joey and Joey Ryan at the Milk Carton Kids. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go back to Largo with with Sarah Watkins.
Yeah, so you're like... Basically, you got to learn how to play the mandolin.
I have a mandolin.
I know.
But
It's been sitting there.
I don't really play it. Yeah, I played it twice.
My parents are back on the ukulele lessons.
Both of them?
Yeah, the community has a class, so they all got ukuleles. So you got to do something like that. At least play 3 strings.
I have my beautiful guitar, which I have not played either, and I really want to start playing it again.
Yeah, that's
Such a good meditative thing to do. But
Oh yeah, I got to tell you, last night I found a new jazz club in Los Angeles.
no way.
Yeah, which I bet you didn't know about.
The baked potato?
No. Although we keep threatening to go back there. You actually sang in that place.
That's
you realize
right.
that?
That was crazy.
That should be on your resume.
It was so embarrassing.
And they actually sell, it's like a jazz club here in North Hollywood, I would say, is like Universal City. And they actually sell baked potatoes, like giant baked potatoes.
Oh, the baked potato one.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the new jazz
And you
one.
sang like it was like a comedy musician type deal where they let comedians sing a song.
I sang Joe Cocker's version of With a Little Help from My Friends. And yelled and screamed like Joe Cocker. And there was like 10 people there.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did it. It's
pretty small.
It sounds so humiliating when I say it out loud.
You got some street cred, but I went
I did
to
it.
the Catalina Jazz Club.
Where's that?
Ooh, Tom.
Yeah?
Hard to find. Only right on Sunset. Only musician. I mean, the lead singer of Toto, Steve Vai. It was all like musicians there. It was
Real.
pretty cool.
Where?
It's like on Sunset, and you actually go through like a parking garage to get in there, and then there's just a line of like people.
By
and
the
it's,
Comedy Store?
No, it's
Downtown?
almost towards it's like Sunset and Highland,
Oh, okay.
and it just looks like a school. And apparently, it's like this great jazz club that people come to.
Wow. So you went in there?
So
with
we
your
went to the
lady friend?
show. Lee Ridenour, who's like a famous, like one of those session guys that's on like every song from the 60s and 70s.
Right.
He runs this thing called the 6-string theory, which is all over the world. These kids, they play like jazz, they play blues, they play rock, they play country. And the winners come to LA and they record with him.
Oh.
And so we got to see him playing with there was like a 20-year-old girl who played classical guitars, like the most amazing thing of the night, I think. They had like these 20-year-old jazz guys from New York playing. There was 2 guys from Russia that played bass. It was
Jeez.
really...
What's the name of it?
Catalina. I think it's just called the Catalina Bar and Grill, but it's the Catalina Jazz Club.
That sounds cool.
And,
I would love to go.
And it was all like famous people in the audience because this guy's like one of those kind of like Jeff Beck, like all the musicians like him, so they all went. So it was all like everybody you recognize. Do you know who Steve Vai is?
Steve Vai.
He's like a really famous guitar player, but he was in. If you remember the movie Crossroads with Ralph Macchio,
Yes,
he's the guy that played Satan.
Right. That guy's good.
And so I saw him there, and he had a hat on, and guess what it said on it, Tom? The Flying Monkey.
The Flying Monkey.
And that is the venue that we played in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Do you remember that place? They gave you a monkey?
They gave me a flying monkey.
Isn't that funny that he was wearing the hat? I was like, nobody knows what that means.
That's hilarious. So he played there too.
Yeah.
This looks cool. There's a lot of cool people there.
Yeah,
Is it a nice room?
Yeah. It's like...
Is it swanky?
It's pretty... It's kind of like a Musso and Frank kind of place. Like, everyone gets seated and, they serve, like, steaks and all that kind of stuff.
Remember
like
when I was going to have date night at Musso and Frank's with my wife and she wouldn't go with me? Mm-hmm. Sad. Hey, this is a good segue into our first sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
We have our first sponsor here on Come to Papa.
We do.
And a good segue into it is that my wife wouldn't come with me on date night, and that we all need help in our love lives.
Yeah, in the romantic department, I would call it. We don't talk about that much, but we'd like to we have a lot of listeners, so we want to give them some help.
That's right. And we're going to turn you guys on to BlueChew.com, the first chewable enhancement product with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So, they work.
Yeah.
I took one of those before, just for fun, like 8 years ago.
Well, it's always fun, isn't it?
Well, there's that thing, like, do you need it or do you not need it? Like, you kind of have to, and it's kind of, sometimes as a fella, you're like, I don't need it. And then you take it, which BlueChew.com is a chewable version of this, and then you realize, oh, maybe I needed it. Because you are really, you're back into your old form from, when you were a young man. You're like, oh, I remember this.
It's chewable confidence, I would call it.
You can take them any time of the day or night on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Now, it's not just for guys for dysfunction, of course, like we said. It's also just for fun. BlueChew.com.
So blue like the color, right?
Yeah, blue like the color. So I'm thinking, I get some of this. They're going to send it to me for free.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, and maybe after one time with the help of the Blue Chew people, my wife will actually go on date night with me.
Right. So that's going to be code for the Papas went to Musso and Frank. It means the Blue Chew worked.
Right now, they've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com, and you can get your first shipment free.
Whoa.
When you use our special promo code PAPA. Just pay $5 shipping. So again, that's BLUE, BlueChew.com, promo code PAPA to try it for free.
Nice.
Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for being a sponsor of Come to Papa.
That's cool.
Will your lady friend be coming to the Super Bowl if you make it back?
I would hope so, yeah. Now that the scones are on the radar, I'm sure it's going to be hard to keep people out of the... Are you going to put anything on the scones?
You know what else I'm going to make? Which I have the book out. And again, timing. I have to get up you have to be a baker for your family before they go for school. You got to get up at 5 o'clock, like when bakers get up. Bagels.
Yeah.
I was reading up on how to make a bagel. And I think I'm going to be able to do it pretty well. With the sourdough starter, it takes about 2 hours all in with all of your proofing time. And I'm going to you basically make the dough, make the bagel, let it proof, and then when they're ready, you put them in water one at a time, about a minute and a half on each side. Put them on a bake sheet. If you want, you can...
Wait, that's just water?
Dip them in water, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boiling water.
Oh, wow.
And then you put them on a sheet and bake them for a little bit. I think this is going to be... I mean, scones are exciting, but the bagel is... Because I didn't have the ingredients for the scone, I jumped to bagels. I think that's going to be pretty killer. I'd have to get some sesame seeds or, some... Because you can take them out of the water, put them in that.
Right.
And then bake them. Would that be cool if we could make a decent bagel in your own home?
That would be great.
I mean, because out here in L.A., there's a lot of badass bagels. Not badass like cool.
Like bad.
Just bad.
Yeah.
How great would it be if we could make a great bagel in L.A.?
Oh. You could stop doing this podcast and just sell bagels. That's what you could do.
That would be amazing. You know what's really upsetting? Did we talk about this on the podcast? That when I was in New York, it was hard to find a good bagel in Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Man, oh, man.
Because they're all gone?
Yeah. I mean, they all can make them. There's a good,
Yeah.
But there's like 5 good places to get bagels now in all of New York.
Wow.
And you go there and they're just packed because it's the only places selling them now. And all those little shops that always you could rely on having a kick-ass bagel, gone.
Yeah,
just
they're all
gone. It's such a weird place right now. I know. It's so upsetting.
That sucks. Oh, well, I got to prepare you for this. If we're going to you're going to Ithaca, you're going to upstate New York, near where I grew up.
You're not going to be on that one?
I am.
Oh, you are?
I'm trying to prepare you for the food. It's a huge Italian community.
Oh.
So
we should go
where I
early.
grew up, they make a thing called a speedy, which they don't make anywhere else in the country. And it's an Italian dish. Like where I grew up, they have speedy and wing places, but they don't have them anywhere else.
What's a speedy?
If you want to look it up, it's SPEIDIE.
What the hell are you talking about?
And
SPIE?
No, I think it's SPEIDIE. It's an Italian word. It means chunks of meat in Italian or something.
Speedy. It's a meat sandwich local to Binghamton in the central southern tier of New York State and somewhat more broadly known and enjoyed throughout central New York. A speedy consists of cubes of chicken, pork, lamb, veal, venison, or beef. The meat cubes are marinated overnight or longer, then grilled on spits over charcoal pit. The traditional method involves serving freshly prepared cubes of meat on soft Italian bread or submarine roll, occasionally drizzled with fresh marinade. So it's just meat. There's no cheese.
Well, they have this, it's just meat, but it's the marinade that does it. So they have these big contests of who makes the best speedy sauce and all that kind of stuff. So my mom used to send me speedy sauce, but we should have her do it, see if you can make it. But nobody in your house eats meat, so that's the tough. Well, the thing is, you would go to somebody's house and they would have speedies, but they wouldn't tell you that they're venison. Or they wouldn't tell you what the meat was.
Some game.
So I always went for the chicken. But you gotta try it, man.
Original State Fair speedy sauce and marinade you can get on Amazon. It'll come right to your house.
Yep. That's my friend's. Her name was Danita Salamita.
So what makes it speedy sauce?
I think
it must be a lot of herbs and
yeah. It's just and it's really, really good, and it's so funny that it's never like come out anywhere else.
Yeah,
like it's just remained there. And I mean, there's places that are just speedy places that have been in business for years. So it's kind of funny.
In 1983, a few families got together and held a Speedy Fest that was a tremendous hit, coupled with a balloon rally.
Yes.
It quickly grew into an annual festival, attracting more than 100,000 attendees.
Yeah, it's still there.
Still doing it.
Speedy Fest and Balloon Rally. I think like Taylor Swift was there or something. It's like a,
Here it is.
crazy thing.
Originally made simply from wine vinegar, water, lemon juice, garlic, and mint. Italian spices, olive oil. So it's just one of those, and they soak it up real good. All right, I'm excited.
So we used to barbecue.
So you're saying we should go in there like 3 days early?
Well, I'm saying you can go like where we're driving. We can just stop at a Speedy place and
How
get
do you even get to Ithaca, New York?
Well,
A balloon into a Speedy festival?
that is well, that's the funny thing is because all the Italian immigrants would come through Ellis Island, and Endicott Johnson was the famous shoe place.
Old Endicott Johnson.
So they would say, "Which way, EJ?" That was what they would do, and then they would send them upstate 3 hours. And
Can we get to Ithaca, New York?
we can do it. It's just not
It's going to take.
not that easy.
It seems like you got to go in early because you're not going to make the show.
Well, we either have to fly into Syracuse and drive, or we can.
There are flights to Ithaca.
Yeah, it's a small airport. Though.
That's not so bad. You connect on American. It takes 7 hours and 30 minutes. That's not so bad if you're going cross country in 5 to 6.
Yeah, because that's our first date. We're going from there to Wilkes-Barre and then to Newark, right?
The last,
Unless you're going to be in New York earlier that week.
I think the last domestic. Oh yeah, I'm not sure where. I think I'm in LA. The last weird domestic accident when an airplane commuter flight from Newark up to your neck of the woods. It was on its way to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Mm-mm. It was winter, and it was a commuter flight, and the pilot error, and it went down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I always get nervous when I see I've got to go to upstate New York in the winter on a commuter flight.
Yeah. I mean, there's the ones that have the jets. Like, I used to fly into Elmira, which is home to Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
It's where Mark Twain retired and built his cigar house so people wouldn't bother him.
Cigar house.
But you can fly into Elmira because there's jets that fly from, like, Detroit to Elmira. That's when I used to fly into there.
This one flies through Philly.
Yeah, and Philly's, like, the worst airport to go through.
It's not a great one.
So
It's a little bleak.
So we'll see.
Old Ithaca, New York. When are we there? We're there in February?
Yeah, February. It's like a Thursday.
I've been quietly getting in shape. I know I didn't make any New Year's resolutions this year, but I quietly have been... I've lost like 7 pounds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
From
Not eating.
just doing your intermittent fast?
Kind of. It's just not eating. And then... when I'm home, I'm working out a lot. When I'm on the road, I can't get my ass to work out on the road.
Yeah, it
is such a difficult thing.
That was that weird, like, even that night that we had fun, but we went to, we did the show, and then we got up, and then we had breakfast, and then we drove to Annapolis, and then it was time to go to the show.
Yeah, that was a weird one because we had a 5 o'clock show. But, the reality is, it's really, it's just a matter of having to do it. Like, I bought a new bag that I could fit running shoes in when I was doing Baked for the Food Network, specifically because I didn't want to become a big fatso doing the show. And the bag can fit it, but when you go away for an extended amount of time and I bring my books and my computer and my writing pad and... to throw a whole big thing of sneakers in there is kind of tricky. It's been an age-old problem of mine. But the reality is, you'll feel better. Like, we got in at 10 o'clock at night. We went out and had a drink. And then, like, the next day, there was time to work out. You only need 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. And you does reset your clock, and you are better off for it. But, man, I just have a problem getting my head around it and doing it. And I'm trying to take my carry-on, and I don't want to fit one more pair of shoes. It's just but But the reality is, Paul, if you're going to be a winner in this life,
That's right.
you've got to just commit.
You kind of find a way to run.
You find a way to run. And it's winter, and you're in this stupid hotel
Yeah.
gym in the basement, like a habit trail. There's nothing more soul-crushing than a bad hotel gym.
But I remember, even if I had like 45 minutes, I would go do it. Because it only took, if you're running for 15 or 20 minutes,
20 minutes
you're
to
done,
a half
and
hour.
then you're taking a shower, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's almost like the time that you try to get ready for the show.
I know. I know. It's really just a mental thing. But look, even just working out at home and stuff and being kind of dialed in, just being a little healthier, it feels great. So it's like I'm getting to the point now where you're kind of over the hump and you don't want to skip when you're gone for a week.
Yeah, I want to start running. Like, I can run in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a good
And I
place
just
to run.
have to get the loop. You know what I mean? Like, you find the loop that you can run. Mm-hmm. That's like the perfect amount of distance that you can just like knock out in 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That's what I got to do.
Let me tell you what my watch says that I did today. I'll give you a report. Doodle-doot-doot-doot. This was without Bella. Sometimes I do it with Bella.
Nerd alert. Why do you have a $500 watch that has a what is it?
Velcro?
band?
Because it's cool and futuristic. What, do I have to walk around with some rich guy metal watch?
No, it just looks like...
It looks good on.
No, the watch does, but
Look at that. Bam.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Kangaroos are really comfortable too, but they didn't last.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember the sneakers that Velcroed clothes? Kangaroos?
This is my workout band. Okay, hold on. Here we go. This is me being an athlete. 3 miles in 28 minutes and 12 seconds. Not bad. A little under a 10-minute mile.
I think my mom just did a half marathon yesterday.
She's a beast. Why you have to bring that up?
Because what are you, a quarter of the way there?
It's not bad.
Almost.
Are you going to yoga?
I need to, I should do that tonight and tomorrow before I go.
All right, let's stop. This is getting depressing.
You know what threw me off, though?
What?
So I'm on the flight home. You got the early, high-end flight.
Whew, that was early.
I came home it was a little bit later, which was good because I actually did work in the airport. Mm-hmm. But I was in an exit row. I didn't get bumped up to first class, but I was in an exit row, which I had room in front of me. But
The luxurious seat and coach.
they gave me... I had this thing on my seatbelt that
fat thing?
I'm not lying. It was like 5 inches wide. It was like this big.
They gave you the fat thing?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? It's an airbag.
What?
There was an airbag in my seatbelt.
What? Why? Because
I was in the exit row and the seat is like farther away than it's supposed to be. And
that's weird.
and I was like, I can't even, like, this is like an extra 5 inches of the seat that's already too small that I can't use. So where am I supposed to put this? And she's like, well, you can let them know on the website. And I was like, I can't be the first person to complain about this then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like, I mean, I don't know how comfortable I feel about having an airbag on my lap that I'm like sitting on and squishing and stuff like that.
Jeez Louise.
Isn't that stupid?
That's ridiculous.
So that was an added thing to, like, even if I was 20 pounds skinnier, that thing still would have been a big pain in the ass.
So it was like having a weight on your belly for the flight.
It was like I couldn't put it in between us because then it's almost hitting the person next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like there was no good place for it.
So did it ruin your flight?
Pretty much. And I was like, why would they think that an airbag is good anyway? I
Yeah.
don't understand the whole thinking behind it.
Oh my god!
But that's what that is. So
I had no idea. I always thought that was just like just a heavy extra thing. Had no idea it was an airbag. My flight, that was so damn early.
yeah.
We were. Whenever you have to drive to the airport an hour before you get on the plane at 4:00 in the morning, it's a rough day.
But you drove well, and we got there on time. It wasn't too bad.
Let's talk about something more important. The menu for the Super Bowl or the big game. I'm thinking fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
I'm thinking fried chicken is the highlight. Or do you want to go wings?
I was gonna say wings.
Wings.
I think the more fingery foodish that it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like cheese, wings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Nachos.
You got your nachos.
That's what we should do. Big sheet nachos.
There goes your 7 pounds right there.
I know. That's the real bummer about this is that you try and one day and you're just right back to where you started.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Now you had that big crazy breakfast though. Do you feel like that slows you down or was that better?
Yeah, no, it slows me down. Yeah, like I don't eat those giant breakfasts that often. And we went out with my nephew Russell when we were down in Alexandria. He works down there for the government. And he's been out of work for a month. So we fed him and brought him to a diner and had like the typical giant omelet, bacon, potatoes, stuff. Whew, that's a big start to your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seems like a lot of grease.
A ton. I know. And then, And then we were on stage at 5 p.m. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Paul?
Well, my prediction has already been recorded as the Rams 31, the Patriots 27.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we're actually going to put...
So you are saying that the Rams are actually going to win the Super Bowl.
That's right. I don't know if we're going to
So
put
Brady
some money
was there
down.
last year and lost to the
Who was?
Eagles. Brady.
Right.
So you're thinking he goes back and loses a second time?
Yeah, it's the Rams season. It's like they
I'm rooting for the Rams, but I have to say I think they're going to lose.
But the only reason they would lose is if they can't keep up with, like if they can't score with them. And their all-pro running back had a terrible game, and they still got to the Super Bowl. And I think he's going to like run all over the place.
Who do they beat to get to the Super Bowl?
Who was it now?
Old,
Saints or
tired Kansas City.
Oh no, Kansas City's the youngest team in the league.
I know, but they were wiped out by that point.
Well, but all those teams are complaining about bad calls. That's the whole thing, is you got to get past it. There's going to be a lot of bad calls in every game.
Yeah, because we can see everything now. It's like a blind man who can see. Well, are we going to do...
What about you? You're backpedaling. I told you confidently the Patriots are losing. The hometown LA Rams.
I'm rooting for the Rams. I would like the Rams to win, but I'm telling you, right now, they're going to lose.
Who'd you pick last year?
To the Patriots. Last year, I don't remember. I probably picked Philadelphia.
No, you've never rooted for Philadelphia in your life.
No, it's true.
That was the toughest one. That was like
that was really annoying.
The two evils.
It was a great game, though. It was a crazy game, that last one. But the problem is a lot of the people that are at our Super Bowl party are not interested in the Super Bowl.
Right. They're Canadians.
We've got my Canadian friend, Sarah, who hates America. And then we've got her husband who loves America but doesn't really watch football. And
he likes the party part.
And then a bunch of kids. And
Well, the thing is, I will say this. For the Patriots, You can say they say they're the most dominant team. I don't know because they've never really wiped anybody out. Like every one of their games is close. Like they lost 2 close games to the Giants and the Eagles. They won. Remember, they beat the Seahawks. They should have lost at the 1-yard line. Mm-hmm. So, like, all of their games are close. So they're not, like, crazy dominant. They just know how to get to the Super Bowl. So I think it'll be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, too. I think it's going to be really fun. And I think what's going to be even better is the scones that we're going to have. Pew, pew, pew. Scone Island.
Yeah, there's so many commercials for scones.
They don't make them because they're difficult and they take time, and people don't do that anymore. But we do, Paul. We take the time, and we're going to have scones. Scones and chicken. I don't know about if we go fried chicken or wings. That's the other thing at the Super Bowl party. I think you and I, and no, I guess their family. My family doesn't eat meat.
Right.
So they'll go nacho crazy. And then we'll go...
well, what's in a scone?
They can eat a scone.
But
there's an egg in it and there's some butter in it. But they're not vegans.
Okay. So they can
this is
have
such
some
an
with
LA.
egg.
This is such an LA Super Bowl party. We got to find some fat people that can come.
Dessert, though.
Yeah, dessert.
You got to do the best of... baked. You got to get every dessert place in L.A.
Ooh.
We can't get Vito's to deliver a pizza.
We could. He's just a little far away.
The Filipino place to make us dessert.
Yeah, we could get that. The Filipino. What was that stuff?
I don't know what it's called. It was kind of like a mix between like ice cream and...
Canada's loving baked.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's running in Canada. A lot of good response up there.
Is it called something else?
It's called Beaked. Beaked. Oh, they just announced that I'm at Cobb's Comedy Club on April 11th through the 13th.
It's called Toasted.
Oh. That'll be fun.
Back to the Bay.
Back to the Bay. Bay. All right, well, this is it. This was a good time. This is a good hang. We're going to post the live Come to Papa on Patreon first for our subscribers, and then we'll move that later on in the week to the regular podcast listeners. That was a really good one.
Nice.
It was really fun. Some great acts dialed in. Judy Gold was on it. What was his name? I forget his name. A new guy that I never had on the show before. He was really great. Michelle Wolf was on it.
Nice.
So we'll post that up for all you guys, all of our Patreon subscribers. Everybody else, enjoy it. This is the end of January, so do a sit-up and get ready to eat your face off this weekend. And we'll give you the Scone report when we get back. LA Rams are going down. Enjoy your life.